Hello Aqua friends, welcome to my channel. Today I have this beautiful Christmas candle for you, and we're going to start off by just masking in the flame with some masking fluid. Once that dries completely, you can go ahead and wet the background around the candle because we're going to work wet on wet. So I'm starting off with some very pale yellow right at the base, and I'm going to build up my colors pretty dark around the candle using some indigo blue and sepia. And I love to tilt my board to let the watercolors flow as they may. It does so in a nice, soft, natural way. Now I do want to increase that pigmentation around the candle so that our foreground candle will really pop. Tilting my board, letting it flow naturally. Just wiping off the edges because you don't want any blooms when your paper is drying. So you're going to let that whole thing dry, and then we'll work on the foreground candle. Going to work on that in the same manner, wet on wet. Now for the candle, I am using some Scarlet Lake mixed with quinacridone red. So once I have a good mixture of the Quin Red on there, I'm coming in with the Scarlet Lake and increasing the intensity of the red. So now I'm going to wet the foreground and we're going to get those dark colors in. This is the reference photo that I'm using from either Pixabay or Unsplash. And as you can see, the foreground is super duper dark, and so I'm just getting in all those dark colors, blending it in with my candle. With a script liner brush, you can pull up all those foliage leaves and pine needles. With some sepia, I'm making the branches that's going to hold the berries. So I'm splashing some water in the foreground just for some different textures. Now I'm going to let that whole thing dry, and I'm going to go back in and add some more red to the candle so that it is a little bit darker. I'm going to increase that saturation. Now towards the bottom here, I'm just going to add some water to blend that out into the foreground. Increasing the darkness of the foreground, adding some straight sepia. Outlining the top of the candle. Putting in some more red on the candle, increasing that vibrancy, and adding some salt. Now, while I'm waiting for the salt to dry, I'm just going in with a dotting tool to add the berries. You could also use the back of your brush as a dotting tool to add some of these berries. So you're going to let that whole thing dry. And now I can take the masking fluid off of the flame. Now to soften that up a little bit, I am wanting to soften the edges, get the wick of the candle. So I'm going to lift up with a flat brush here, and a little bit of magic eraser around the flame will give it this really pretty glow. So that's what I'm doing here with my tweezers, is just using a little piece of magic eraser. So this really does pop against the background, and that concludes the tutorial. You take off your tape. You guys just created a masterpiece. Congratulations. Happy holidays, guys, and I'll see you next time.